So today I'm going to be doing a video discussing animes that are like Fairy Tail. Now when it comes to Fairy Tail, this was one of the first anime series that I've gotten into because I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, like everybody else, we all watched Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was basically the anime that broke the anime barrier and then expanded into just another regular TV show. Hell, even people who don't even like anime, people who think the anime is like retarded and stuff, they still like fuck with Dragon Ball Z, or just regular casual people, they like Dragon Ball Z. And I mean, Dragon Ball Z, that was basically the biggest part of my childhood, you know, going to school, playing, acting like I'm Goku, using Kamehameha, all that stuff. Like, well, not even Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z was really the first anime that I watched. Then came on to Naruto, and Naruto, when I was younger, I had a love-hate relationship with it because I was a huge Dragon Ball Z tard back in the day. Like, I always would say Dragon Ball Z is better, but Naruto, just because people were saying stuff like, oh, Naruto's going to surpass Dragon Ball Z and all that other stuff, I had to defend my boy Goku. So, you know, I was always a Naruto. I guess you call me, I was an original Naruto hater. I'd be like, nah, it's not. And I wouldn't even really be bashing Naruto. I would just say, no, it's not for no reason. So, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, those were really the first things that I've actually gotten into. And those are the series that I can say that I've watched from, like, start to finish. And then you got series like Bleach that came in, like, here and there. I watched on Adult Swim. I didn't really finish it. Stuff like Shaman King, yeah, that would come in. But the next series I can say that I actually like fully watched that was on that level of Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. And what I mean by on that level, I don't mean like the qualities. I'm talking about like on the level which I actually watched from start to finish was Fairy Tail. Now, Fairy Tail, this series, I started watching, I'm not gonna lie, I started watching it about 3-4 years ago, so somewhere around like 2012. I remember, actually it might have been 5 years ago. I think it was actually 2011, where I sat down. I was like, you know what, I like anime. It's not like that I didn't like anime, but at that time I wasn't really watching anything. So I was like, you know what, why not actually just start watching a new series? I heard a lot of people talking about Fairy Tail, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's get into it. So today I'm going to be discussing series that I think are similar to Fairy Tail. Now, just like I said, we're going to get off the back with Dragon Ball Z. Now, I know some people, they would be like, oh, but Dragon Ball Z inspired Fairy Tail. Well, that's not the point. I'm not saying that these series are like ripping off of Fairy Tail or anything, but Fairy Tail, it's in that shonen genre, whereas it's like the main hero. You know, I guess you call it like a cliche shonen genre. And don't get me wrong, just because I say something's cliche, that doesn't mean that it's bad or anything. It's just like you can find similarities within these shonen around other places. But Fairy Tail does fall into that category with the cliche fighting shonens. Yeah, the fighting shonen, that's what they're called, battle shonen. You know, with the Naruto, the Dragon Ball Z's. But Dragon Ball Z really didn't inspire Fairy Tail. I mean, just the stuff like Dragon Force, you got Super Saiyan, all that stuff. Like, Dragon Ball Z is definitely the grandfather, the godfather of all these battle shonen. So if you like Fairy Tail, you'll definitely like Dragon Ball Z. And just like I said earlier, Naruto. Now, Naruto, it's not really like Fairy Tail, although they do have a similar layout, you know, whereas Naruto, they have the whole ninja system, the whole scroll and all that stuff, and then Fairy Tail, they got the magic system, all that other stuff. But if you like Fairy Tail, you'll definitely probably like Naruto as much, because Naruto and Natsu, and I'm talking about majority for part one wise. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Shippuden, but if you're gonna start with Naruto, you're gonna start with part one. So Naruto part one, you could find similarities with Natsu and Naruto. You know, both hyperactive, the dummies, like all that stuff. You're gonna like that stuff if you like Fairy Tail. You'll definitely like Naruto. Regardless of what people say, Naruto is still one of my favorites. Even though people hate on it, they say it's trash now, I still like Naruto. And just a little PSA, I've been rocking with Naruto even when the 4th grade Ninja Wars happened. A lot of people there saying stuff like, oh, this arc sucked, all this other stuff. But then once Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 came out, everybody was back thick riding the 4th grade Ninja War, and I was like, okay, so we're taking this route. But no, in all seriousness, Naruto is definitely a series that if you like Fairy Tail, you could definitely get into Naruto. Now, the next one is going to be Bleach. Now, this one is actually the hardest to piece together, because Bleach, out of all the cliche battle shonens, I gotta say that this one was probably the most mature out of the big three, and the other rookies around it. Like, for example, with Bleach, you have Ichigo starting off who's 17. He acts mature. He doesn't act like Naruto and Luffy or Goku. You know, he acts like an actual adult. So Bleach, I always seen as like the mature older brother when it came to the other big three, and even the other series. Like, for example, Ichigo, he's not gonna act like you're Natsu. But if you do want want those epic battles, you know, the sword fights, all that other stuff, you're gonna love Bleach. So I gotta put Bleach on this list just out of respect, and just because it came around at the same time as the other. Well, it didn't necessarily come around at the same time, but they started booming over here in America before Fairy Tail and all the other series. So Bleach, Naruto, they all laid down the groundwork. And what would be this list without having One Piece up here? Now I know a lot of people, they hate Fairy Tail because it uses One Piece templates a lot, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care, because me personally, this is how I see it. If an author takes something from another series, or at least incorporates it into their series, it's basically like saying, okay, this is good enough that I want to have it in my series. And plus, you see this done in literature a lot, in anime and manga a lot, like people using ideas. Now I'm not gonna lie, you don't see people taking Gildarts or taking Shanks and adding them into Fairy Tail. That's actually some next level shit. But when it comes to like using like comparison, if I was one of the people who hated on Fairy Tail for copying One Piece, I would hate nearly every other series for copying Dragon Ball Z. Like, I don't really care about that. As long as it's good, I enjoy it. And One Piece, this is definitely one of the closest series on this list that I could say that it's actually resembled the Fairy Tail. You know, the whole guild, the whole pirate ship, like all that stuff. This is definitely a contender on this list for one of the most anime that's actually similar to Fairy Tail. Or I know some people will say One Piece is similar to Fairy Tail, Fairy Tail similar to One. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, they're both animes that are really identical. The next one is Soul Eater. Now I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen Soul Eater fully. I've seen a couple episodes here and there, but if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, they do have the whole main antagonist being a male and a female. You know, the whole thing with Fairy Tail, Natsu and Lucy. And if I'm not mistaken, they also do use magic within that series too. So you already got two big similarities. I don't even know the main character's guy, like the guy who wears the hat. I don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure from what I've seen, he is kind of like a knuckleheadish type character. I'm not too sure on that. Don't quote me on this because I haven't seen Soul Eater, like I said. But yeah, Soul Eater, from what I have seen of the series, it did look like it was going to be close to Fairy Tail, or at least similar to Fairy Tail, whereas you have the whole magic, you have the whole reckless main character, the other main protagonist being a female, all that stuff. So Soul Eater, based off what I see from a glimpse, that's why I gotta have it up here. The next series is Magi, and I know some people might be like, okay, why are you saying Magi? But think about it like this: Magi, it also does have the two main protagonists being, well, they have two main protagonists, similar to how Fairy Tail does. Granted, one isn't a female like Fairy Tail, but they also do use the magic system just like Fairy Tail. And I know that their magic system is a lot different, and it's actually like thought out a lot more, because with Fairy Tail, magic is just similar to something like ki, you know what I'm saying? It exists with like within everybody, or like chakra or something. But with Magi, you have to actually like go to school for it, all this other stuff, which makes it a little bit more interesting and makes it a little bit more deeper than just having a simple, you know, we're gonna just have magic flowing within everybody. You have to actually learn how to use it. So that's what I have with Magi. But if you like that adventure battle shonen, Magi is definitely a good thing for you. Now these last three are the three series I think fits it the most, like that are actually like really identical to Fairy Tail. Coming in at number 3 is Blue Exorcist. Now Blue Exorcist, man, when I was watching this series, I don't know why, but it just gave me so much Fairy Tail vibes, because after I finished Fairy Tail, I was like, dang, like I need something to like keep me afloat. I saw Blue Exorcist, and I don't know, it just gave me the exact same vibes. They had the reckless main character, fire type. You have the, I guess, or even though Yukino was younger, he was still act like the older brother. You have the whole brotherly rivalship with them too, like same thing with Natsu and Gray. Like, it was just so much that was alike, and I was just like, damn, this is crazy. So that's one thing that I have to give up to Blue Exorcist. It was a lot like Fairy Tail. And then we move on to Nanatsu no Taizai. Now this one actually does get compared to Fairy Tail the most, because we know that Nanatsu no Taizai, when it came to this, it basically, I don't want to say that it ripped off, because a lot of people, they do say, oh, Taizai did rip off. A lot of people say that it didn't rip off, but we do know that they do share the same thing when it comes to the whole Meliodas and Elizabeth thing. They're very similar, and the whole thing with them going out, having to use, I believe they use magic, something similar. They don't necessarily use like magic, but it's something like similar to like abilities like that. So Taizai and Fairy Tail, they go together perfectly, and there's been multiple crossovers. And last but not least, a lot of you guys might not have heard the series, but it's Blood Lad. And this series, it's mainly up here just simply because they have the whole main character thing. They use fan service a lot, and they also use a lot of things from other series, just like how Fairy Tail does. So overall, that's basically it for these series that are similar to Fairy Tail. Which series do you think that's the most similar to Fairy Tail? Which one you think isn't? Comment what you guys in down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.